Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera or Hbar. I know a lot of people probably sold, a lot of people probably bought. It is what it is, but that is exactly how this market capitalizes on anybody and everybody. So with this recent dip, honestly, I'm not too concerned on it at all. We're going to be discussing why. We're going to be discussing why I'm actually fairly bullish on Hedera as well. In terms of the price volume, we are down about 6.45%, down 13.82% on the 7-day span. A few other altcoins are actually turning green right now, but the trading volume is still fairly down. We are up about 48.10% on the volume, but we are only at $164.1 million, which is nothing. And you also might see more circulating supply in circulation. We're going to also talk about that as well, and pretty much get down to that and pretty much discuss why that happened and what's the overall idea behind it. But before we fully jump in this video, I just want to ask if you guys could please leave a like on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. I easily think that we could smash 300 likes on this video, so definitely hit that like button. Also, before we fully jump on, I just want to let you guys know that we have the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack still on sale, 20% off for a limited time only today. This includes all of the content on the website as well as all the content that will be released on the website for free. So definitely get in on this if you guys are interested. Links will be down in the description below as well as in the comments below, NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, let's talk about Hbar. So right now we are seeing a little bit of a bounce. We actually found some support at around this point here at about 32.3, almost 32.4, almost 32.5 cents exact. But the bottom of this candle almost pretty much joins in on the September 5th lows. These are actually the demand zones before we went to, the recent all-time high. I'm actually very bullish on this because this allows us to have that nice bottom test, which will allow for a lot more capital to flow in, a lot more volume to flow in, and so forth. And this also allows us to go much higher. We will most likely break this all-time high within the next few weeks to months. And when I say months, I still think that we could have the lengthened cycle, especially now that we had Bitcoin come down and test 53K, which we have been talking about for a fairly long time. I also will say this, in terms of a lot of the Bitcoin pairs for these altcoins, they look similar to this, where they bottomed out perfectly on the major bottoms going all the way back to October, as well as even going back to September, and some even going back to August. I've seen some altcoins test their August lows, like XRP is one of them. So Hbar is not too bad in terms of the price volatility. I'm actually still very, very bullish on Hbar, as you guys already know, though, because I haven't changed my position on this at all. We've lowered back on the $10 range for Hbar being a possibility a little bit, but we don't know exactly where we could go if, of course, Bitcoin pretty much has that lengthened cycle, because we could still see 120K plus being tested on Bitcoin, which would still allow a lot more altcoin rotations, which will still allow a lot more capital to flow through this market. And I also just want to clarify, with what happened in this market just recently, I always say, remember that after a market flush happens, the biggest moves begin. Discounts across the board for pretty much all of these altcoins and many more. And, this pretty much tells us, listen, if you look at what just happened, $650 million in crypto liquidations just happened in less than 24 hours, okay? And we hit a 6-week low on Bitcoin. And I know a lot of people are probably going to think, well, dude, isn't that fairly bearish? No, this absolutely is not. And I know that on the 1-hour spans and on like the micro base levels, things look rough. But on the day span, if you zoom out, or even on the weekly, the best thing to do is look at the weekly. Look at how bullish this is. Honestly, we are testing the August high, or the resistance points from August, perfectly, had a strong bounce, and now we're just sitting pretty at these prices. Is the downside limited from here? Not technically if Bitcoin does break 53K, but I suspect that we should hold that. If we don't hold that, then it's a call for concern for the entire market. But even Bitcoin on the weekly looks fairly good. When we're talking about what these just tested, these altcoins, even Bitcoin itself, not just altcoins in general, have all tested some major points here. At the bottom of this candle exact, it's almost at the bottom stage for the resistance levels going back to September 6th as well as August 30th. We're a little bit, away from it. I was honestly expecting 53K almost exact, which would have been the top of this candle from September 6th, but it's all good. Could we still go there? Yeah, 100%. But I'm just telling you guys this because this is actually not a bearish pattern. We are looking fairly good. We came back down, retested that point. From the top, from our all-time high currently on Bitcoin to the bottom here, it's honestly like a 22.5% drop, which to a lot of people, yeah, that's probably a big concern, but it's really not, especially if you look back on the past when we were pretty much pumping to the previous all-time high and stuff like that. So I'm still very bullish. I think that the next major move, like I said, is going to be probably one of the biggest moves in crypto this year, and I am not too concerned at all. A lot of people are saying beautiful price action Bitcoin. I like it. I like it too. I think that the next major reverse is going to be very interesting. Also, yes, a lot of people were talking about the US dollar. If you guys did check out the dollar, we had a little bit of a drop in price for the dollar today. It was a little bit of a test on a bottom support at about 95.75, which is perfect. It could have topped out at around almost 97. We have to watch this closely as we do range on in the week. But ultimately speaking, I still think that crypto is very bullish. I think that we're still very well in a bull run, and I do suspect that Hbar is going to make some major gains. Now let's talk about the circulating supply. So a few people were, talking about the overall circulating supply. They were concerned about it, and just to give you guys a quick note, they already gave us that insight hours before it happened. They were pretty much transferring Hbars to the Hbar Foundation wallet, and I know a lot of people are probably thinking, well, dude, they're going to dump. No, they're not. There will be a lockup period for those that want to sell Hbars in the market to fund operations development and more. But we do see. Do we know when the lockup is? 12 months from today. So we have 1 whole year before those Hbars even get sold. And honestly, in 1 year, this is going to be extremely different in terms of where Hbar actually is in price and all that stuff. We actually see here this 12-month lock news from Shane is pivotally important and relieves a lot of uncertainty around the foundation Hbars. Hedera is making smart token economic decisions as well as incentivizing ecosystem development. This is a win-win for the whole Hedera ecosystem, and it is. Honestly, I'm not too concerned on this at all. I know a lot of people think that with more supply, the upside is limited, but it's really not. We've seen altcoins with major, high supply pretty much hit major targets. So I'm not too concerned with that. But I do want to talk to you guys also about the price. So if you guys are worried about the price, we even see here for all those upset about Hbar's price, yes, other coins have performed very well, but the cycle is not over. Some other coins year to date. And here are those year to date percentages. And we could see those year to date percentages here. If we're talking about, the percentages alone, just from the top, the major high targets, we are seeing, 66,000% almost. Or 67,000% almost. We were seeing, 21,000 and all this stuff, right? It's crazy. But, Hbar is also right down here on the list, above most of these other altcoins like ADA, AMP, Curve, FTX. There's so many other altcoins that we have outperformed year to date already in percentages. And I don't think that our run is yet done at all. So I'm very excited for the future, and I still think that we have been pretty much outperforming most altcoins that a lot of people continue to say, yeah, but it's still better than Hbar, but we still outperform them in percentages alone. Also, for anybody who is concerned about the price, pretty much action, go check out Credible Crypto's tweet from the 24th, so 2 days ago, where he talks about the price action. He even talks about how we were going to come down and retest those August lows, or highs, and pretty much make those lows. It's very good for demand. It's also very good for the next major price movement, and I suspect that the next major price movement is going to be very bullish as well. Now, let's talk about some stuff that is happening on Hedera. So this is from Ryan Davies from Yamgo as well as AdStacks. Now with this, he is talking about ad fraud. Now if you guys haven't heard about ad fraud, there's a lot of stuff happening with ads right now with fraudulent stuff. And we actually see here the Hedera ledger has no confirmation bias in a supply chain. It simply acts as a secure auditable log of events. If you look at the case of advertising, fraud solutions are financially motivated to find some level of fraud in order to prove their value. Who would regularly pay money for a fraud prevention tool that says, great news, there's no fraud? On the other hand, there are bad ad networks and middlemen who seek to hide or even commit fraud in order to increase their revenue. This makes it difficult to trust either side and causes conflict. In the case of AdStack's platform, we have Hedera as the unbiased chain of events and single source of truth. Hedera doesn't care what is stored on the ledger. It just shows you a log of events. It creates a lot more trust for everybody. And this is what I've talked about in terms of the trust layer for the internet. With a lot of advertising, companies coming out, we've talked about this even in regards to DAG or Constellation with decentralization in the ads market. I think that this is going to grow and grow and grow. And AdStack is a great platform that will pretty much allow for a lot more transactional flows on Hedera, but you could see why they chose Hbar as their main choice here. Now, I also want to talk to you guys about, in terms of price, we are seeing a lot of ecosystem upgrades and updates as well. Going back to November 10th, I've talked about this and I've discussed to you guys the real world use cases that Hedera is actually already a part of. And of course, this is with FPOS and even Miko. Guys, there is real world use cases happening right now within the Hedera Hashgraph ecosystem, and I'm very excited about this because you guys don't know how big this actually is until a utility driven market is here. And I always give you guys the base point on the short and long term viewpoints here. On the short term, yes, Hedera is going to make us a lot of money. In my mind, I still see us at a 10x from our current position. I think that that is easily achievable in my mind, even if we look over here and look at Hedera. And we go to say for just $3, which is a 802% move, we'd only be at about a $54.3 billion market cap. And I'm not saying that that is, not crazy or anything, considering the fact that even the top 10 coin right now has 27.2 billion. But at these all-time highs of some of these altcoins, it's a lot higher in terms of that price. So when we're looking back on things, I think that what we need to see is some more price validation for a lot of people to actually kind of change their mind about Hedera. I haven't changed my mind at all because we are seeing it being utilized on a day-to-day scale because of its overall transparency, efficiency, and so much more. And I do suspect that this is going to grow more and more. And of course, within what we have been seeing with interoperability as well, the Hashport interoperability protocol, that is huge. I've always talked about interoperability at a massive scale within this space, even going back to QNT, which also QNT is, looking fairly bullish right now with its bottom lows being put in. But a lot of these altcoins are sort of, suffering from interoperability. But Hedera Hashgraph is not going to, because of this major upgrade. And I don't think that people actually realize how huge this actually is, connecting all these networks to one another. But this is huge, okay? And I think that this also plays a perfect part in what Jigstack's doing behind closed doors with even OpenSea and Ethereum and Polygon APIs. I think that it's all going to be connected to one thing, and I've always discussed that as well. But I'm not too worried at all in terms of the future for Hedera Hashgraph on the short and long term. I'm still extremely bullish, as you guys already know. But with that being said, I hope that clarifies what happened within the market. I hope that clarifies where we are right now currently. I suspect that this market is going to have a nice reversal very, very soon. But with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.